Well, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, and I want to start by saying that the Black Latino Caucus is a group of legislators from the Rhode Island House and Senate whose members come from, and on behalf of our members and our co-chair, Shelby Maldonado, along with the Board of Hispanic Caucus chairs, which is a bipartisan Latino state legislative leaders who are committed to working together to mitigate the negative impact of recent local, state, and federal policies that target immigrant communities. We are urging Congress to pass a legislative fix that will maintain the objectives of DACA and keep all families together before the end of the 6-month deadline. We're committed to the dreamers in our communities to do everything in our power to help in these uncertain times. Here in Rhode Island, our Congressman David Cicilline has already taken steps to bring the communities together and talk to the recipients of DACA and their families to see how they can stand their voice and how we could come together to make sure that these protections remain, and most importantly, that they have that certainty that we gave them under the previous administration. This organization and our state leaders from across the country stand united in our condemnation of the recent affected SB 4 in Texas and the harmful impacts these types of legislations have. We are all committed to work to prevent similar harmful legislation in our respective states with the launch of the Not in My State campaign, while advancing smart solutions that support inclusive environments and safe communities. We stand with countless communities and business partners in opposition to this wave of anti-immigrant policies. Our work together will sustain the fight against misguided and cruel policies. In the coming months, we will collaborate as state leaders to find ways to instill positive policy changes in our states and coordinate energies to compel Congress to do the right thing. Thank you very much.
I guess the normal person, day-to-day person, is there any way they can get involved? I know last week there's a lot of people here, so what can they do?
Absolutely. First, start with reaching out to our federal delegation and let them know why this is important to you. Some of the members of my caucus have neighbors, direct neighbors, people next to their house who are recipients. I have several constituents, and we're trying to round up exactly how many of these youth are protected under DACA here in Rhode Island. And as I mentioned, Congressman Cicilline is doing a phenomenal job both in Rhode Island and in Washington, and we're reaching out to all of our federal delegation to let them know. With that said, reach out to your local state representatives and senators and let them know why this is important and how this might affect not only your neighbors but also family.
Is there legislation you're working on in the State House with the special session coming up that would help alleviate some of this?
We are exploring every possibility to get something in. Unfortunately, because of the recent, this being so recent, we don't want to address this in such a fast manner that we don't address it properly. So what we want to do is make sure that we begin this conversation with the members of both chambers, let them know the importance of this, and if we could come to a not just an understanding, but a reasonable approach that makes sense for everybody, and most importantly protects these youth, the DACA youth, and their families.
Are you confident that there can be something done to change the decision?
Well, I think that luckily this is elected bodies, and because it's an elected body, we have it's trickle up, not trickle down. And right now the president has taken an approach of trickle down, and what we need to do is say that the people are going to speak, and when they speak, hopefully it's enough that it allows the decision makers to make that decision in favor of this program. I also have one of my members here who expressed to me the importance and why it's important to her, and she has some of her constituents who are current recipients of DACA.